So today for good morning. So today for COMMGiving and my video diary, I want to share what I was thinking. I didn't shave it. It's so early in the morning. I want to share what I was thinking about money and the value of money. In an honest business, money is a medium. So there's we trade value for value. And if it's inconvenient, then we have to turn to money to resolve the inconvenience. You know, that's what money is. It's a medium, right? We all know it's a medium. It's so big, it's so ubiquitous, it's everywhere that in today's day and age, money has taken on its own value, sort of, because it's so big. The money system, the monetary system, so big, it's taken on its own value. When we think of money, we don't think of the value, like the value behind money. It used to be like the gold standard, or it used to be like someone's work, right? The product of someone's work, right? We don't think of the value backing money because money is so big. But really, it's really, work is about value for value. And if the situation is inconvenient, then we use money as the medium. You know, like sometimes I want to trade something, but I don't want their direct value back. So that's an inconvenience, right? So I would use money, and then they can take the money and exchange value for value, right? Because it's inconvenient, you know. Sometimes, like, you don't want, say you got a skill and you don't want their skill directly, right? But you got value because you earn the money, right? Like someone else valued your skill, you earn the money, and someone else valued their skill, they earn the money. But you two don't want each other's skill directly. That's the inconvenience, right? So you use money. It's sort of like to barter, to trade, right? In some way. So money is medium for when value meets value, but there's an inconvenience there. Like you don't want each other's skill directly, so you use money, right? So, but because money is so like it seems so plentiful, like so ubiquitous, so universal, sometimes we forget the skill backing the value of money, right? So really, good in a good business, ultimately, even though you use money as a medium, you're still exchanging value for value, right? The value that help you earn the money, like your own skill, and then the value that help them earn their money, their own skill, right? And you use the money as a medium to exchange value for value, even though you still like don't want each other's value directly. So say like, okay, so let's say a car, right? You want to buy a car. The skill that create that car, like the assembly line workers or the CEO of the car company, you don't want their skill directly, you know? Like if an assembly line worker comes and say, hey, you got work for me, it's like, no, I don't need your skill. Or a CEO of General Motors comes, you got work for me? No, I don't need your skill, right? So, and like, I'm just like, whatever, right? Right. So their skill and your skill are mismatched, right? You don't need each other's skill directly, but you want the product and you use money, right? Because they don't need your skill. Maybe you're an artist, like a painter, like professional artist. They don't want a painting, right? So you use money, right? Because it's inconvenient for you, the two groups, to exchange skills directly, right? So you use money. But sometimes we forget about the actual skill behind the money, like the fact that you're a professional painter or the fact that they're an assembly line worker who can use robotics, right? So we forget about that skill backing money. Um, now that's work, right? Work is like really about value from value, using money when it's inconvenient for the two groups because the two groups don't need each other's skill directly, right? There's also thieving, which is like, thieving is when they just want the money, right? You got the skill, you're either assembly line worker, you're either a professional painter or a CEO or something in the office or something, right? Your skill earned you the money. The thief just wants the money, right? But the difference between thieving and working is the thief can take on any disguise. Like the thief won't come to you as a thief. Or the thief will come to you as assembly line worker, as a bank, as a as a even professional painter or something like that, right? So you think you're exchanging value for value, but in the end, you've given away your money for something that has no value. That might be, let's say so like when you exchange value for value, there's all these expectations, right? As a customer, you say, well, the experience will be safe, right? The product will be satisfying to use, right? But when you deal with a thief, they just take your money. The experience is dangerous. The product breaks apart, or sometimes there's no product at all. But what happens is you end up losing your money. You got no value in return because the whole experience was just a big lie. That is thieving. It's not work. It's thieving. Work, if you exchange money with someone who's doing it for work, the experience is good, the product doesn't fall apart, and you're a satisfied customer. You see? So the difference between thieving and work is that work adds value, even though you use money as a medium, because you don't want each other's skill directly. Work still gives, you give value and they give value. The underlying values, the underlying skills of the two groups are still there. The product doesn't fall apart, customer is satisfied, experience is safe. When you're dealing with a thief, the value on their end falls apart. Like the experience is dangerous and it's not as they promised and all that stuff. So you end up just losing your money. So that's the difference between work and thieving, value for value via money. So when you hire somebody, right? Because it's a marketing blog, COMMGiving.com, for managers dealing with tight budgets, you can actually say, depending on what they promise you, depending on what's on their website, their business card and their brochure, you can actually say, you just stole my money because, out there compared to other marketing agencies or other people, my stuff wouldn't fall apart like this. So if that ever happens to you, it's like, I'm very unsatisfied, right? The service fell apart. You say it's not work for work. It's thieving. Well, you don't have to, because of today's litigious environment and libelous environment, you don't have to call them a thief, but you can say, look, I didn't get my money's worth the way it says on your website or on your brochure. All right. So like this stuff like marketing and advertising, it's not magic. It's science. You do it by textbook. Pretty much anybody can achieve those results. The only difference is the length of time. A professional can probably do it in half the time as a new person, but you will get those results. Now, when you hire a new person, like a fresh graduate or a volunteer, oftentimes they always tell you, I'm brand new. Like my experience is small, right? It would take me longer, but I can get there because of the textbook. I just follow the textbook, right? Like I might have to look at it every so often, whereas experienced person can just memorize it. That's the only difference, is the length of time it takes to get to your goal. But if you hire a good new grad or a volunteer, just a good one, your experience and your things won't fall apart. You hire a thief, they'll fall apart. So that's value for value. Using money when the exchange is inconvenient. Like when the skills are inconvenient to exchange. So I just want to share that. That's today's COMMGiving, and I'll put it on culture proof as well. I think it's a pretty cool idea. Okay. So this is the new setting. Maybe I'll see you later on in the day. Bye bye.